we're going to go straight to our friend, the host of the Pete Sousa Show. Pete Sousa joins us from Oklahoma City, where he is broadcasting the Big 12 softball tournament. What's up, Petey?
Man, it's great to be with you, Scotty. How's everything back there? All right. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We are off to an infinitely better start than we were yesterday, my friend. Welcome in. What's going on? Tell us what happened yesterday. I will admit I did watch one game yesterday, and I bet you could guess which one.
Yeah, Baylor lost, and that was a bummer of a game. I mean, they were just kind of overwhelmed. Texas Tech is so good. That pitcher NiJaree Canady.
I was gonna say she's incredible, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty cool story there. She was, just to give, this is kind of like what our show is all about. She played at Stanford, and they were trying to keep her there. But, from what I've heard, they could only muster up like $250,000 to keep her there, which is a lot for a softball player. But they found a way at Texas Tech to get her like $1 million. And so when she got that offer, you just can't refuse it. And you know what's interesting yesterday? Being at the ballpark and seeing all the people that came out in 24 Canady jerseys, right? Like, they're all her family. And when you think about it, like, that money really can change a lot of things, right? And they can really help a lot of people in your family. A lot of times I think we miss that when we see these kids are taking money, whether it's Rob Wright and that gets us all upset, right? Or whether it is, NiJaree Canady doing it at Texas Tech. A lot of times, there's people we don't even know that are benefiting from this money, and it can really improve the quality of life for their families. And so that's the vibe I got from NiJaree Canady. Just a great kid, seemed like a really good family, and an amazing pitcher, dude. She's just dominant. Like, she left the game towards in the seventh inning. And they had done so many different things. Like, they pinch hit for her, they pinch ran for her. She was taken out of the game. And honestly, Cat Osterman, who I was doing the game with, thought she might not be able to come back in because
did you ever get an explanation for how? Because I heard you and Cat both on the broadcast kind of like, I don't know how she's able to get back.
Yeah, Cat was like, I don't know how she's able to come back in. And I really wasn't able to figure it out. Cat basically told me that Jerry Glasgow, the coach of Texas Tech, did a brilliant job of working his scorecard, right, his lineup card, where there are loopholes. And he found them because ultimately, Glenn Moore is one of the best coaches in college softball for Baylor. He didn't take issue with it. So it was clear whatever they did was within the rules. So she comes back in the game, or comes out of the dugout, right? They had this girl, Rhea Seto, in, and Baylor was really getting to her, and it was like, oh, boy. Because the lead was only, I think, 4-0 or something. So that was like
4-0, and Baylor loaded the bases. I was getting excited.
Yeah, and then, like, Darth Vader, she comes back out of the dugout.
In her mask.
I was like, oh, man. And so that was that. But the tournament in itself has been amazing. I will say, having done this for a few years, and I love the Big 12. There's a little bit. The Oklahoma juice is gone, and what I mean by that is, there were people making the short trip from Norman. There were even Oklahoma bandwagon fans who would show up and fill up the stands and stuff. And today is a semifinal day, so I'm sure there'll be a really good crowd there because that stadium's amazing. But it wasn't the second day, the quarterfinal day. Didn't have the juice that you get with Oklahoma and Texas, because you got two teams who you could arguably say are just as good, but Arizona State, Utah, they're coming from the opposite side of the country now. So that does change things a little bit.
So give us the update on the other results. Where are we standing? So Baylor did lose to Texas Tech. That probably
so today's games. I'll make it easy for you. Today's games are Texas Tech and Arizona State. That starts at 3 our time, and then following that will be Arizona and Iowa State. So it's kind of cool. All like the stars really advanced. So I'm pumped to see like some more pitching today from Canady. Arizona State has this girl Kenzie Brown who struck 13 batters out yesterday, and for me, honestly, here's another thing, an aside, because I didn't get to talk about it too much yesterday. I get to call a lot of sports, but like, it's rare I get paired. Like, I don't get paired with like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, players of those magnitudes. Obviously, Kobe's tragic passing never would, or Tom Brady. But when I'm doing softball, they pair me with like last year I was with Natasha Watley, one of the best softball players of all time, won a bunch of medals and all these Hall of Fames. And now I'm with Cat Osterman. And it is cool to just see how these amazing athletes who are at the very tippy top of their sport comport themselves. And it's fun just to not only are we calling a game, but I get to ask her all about her process, how she got to be who she is. And I think that's kind of cool because you imagine a lot of young softball players are watching. So I'm getting her to tell me just how seriously she took her bullpens. How did she take those warm-up pitches? Like, how do you approach those pitches? You know what I mean? Like when a coach comes to the mound, where do you try to get your headspace? And like really one thing I came up with, and it's like, we should have known already, or I should have known already. The process that these exceptional athletes have is just so rigid, right? They have such a process of how they do things and how they go about getting ready. It's really cool to see, especially for a joker like me. It's like, wow, it's pretty amazing,
Listen, it's what most of our parents taught us when we were children, right? Is like, if you can be disciplined at practicing and working at the things you love, that's how you get great at it, right? So awesome that dude, I'm seriously very envious that you get to hang out with.
I'm pissed you're not here, but that's another story. But
yeah, well, hey, she's a legend, and I'm envious you get to work with her.